This is 999 show, Tuesday night art, live. We're going to be painting two things here, doing two paintings. I'm really going to be doing them essentially at the same time. I'm combining watercolor and acrylics together. So we're just kind of starting with an impressionistic sky, I guess. My impressions of what the sky should be, what it should look like. There's going to be no visible sun in it, so we're not going to be worrying about, reflecting sunlight or anything off of there. So I'm going to be using both watercolors and fluid acrylics in this painting. Welcome. If you're just joining in, I just started. I'm going to just kind of move around the smokestacks in this boat. Maybe it's an old steamer. Maybe it's what it is. The boat is what it is. It's up for your imagination to figure out. Maybe we'll come in and we'll take some of this Madden Lake deep red, and we're going to kind of mix it in there, make a bit of some purpley colors. Come in here. Gonna put that in. What we're doing here is we're going for speed and for, making sure it's is the highest quality speedy painting that you can do. And let's go in, let's get some more of that red in here. I think we're going to add come up here, we got that Prussian blue. I'm going to gray it up a little bit. We'll add in make it more of a wine color. Let's add a bit more water so it's just a lot more transparent. Kind of putting it in here. This is 909 show. We're doing art tonight. Live art. And we'll just leave some of those white spaces in there just because we can. The harder part is going to be when I come in here. Hello? Hello? 111? Is it 111 for you? Hello, Robolox Girl. Your handle sounds familiar. Seems like I've seen your handle before. Coming around there. I'm just gonna put that in here a little bit there. It'll be there, kind of coming behind the boat. And I think I'm gonna take some more of this red, a little bit more of it here. So it's 112. Your Truth Wave meditation sent you. Yeah. So yeah, we're doing just calm voices and painting. That's what I'm doing right now. Trying to, do my very best Bob Ross. I haven't actually done a painting video for a while. Turn the camera outside and turned it on the cows like 2 nights ago. And I told, oh, welcome, welcome. You're in the okay, Czech Republic, yeah. The other side of the world. We're just going to layer in some of this red on the top here. In my impressionistic sky. Maybe it's raining. Maybe it's like a rain coming down. There. I do have a template that I'm working off of. These are actually cards for resale. So I am painting the same image and seeing how fast I can paint that image. I'm not painting. I am painting for pleasure, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm painting. It's not a commission, but I have my working in the little store that sells my art this weekend, and I need to bring some more art in. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to come in and get some more of this blue. We're going to mix it down into here. From Truth Wave, yeah. I'm really looking forward to having Victor on my show. Let's see. Let's come in with a little different. Well, we'll go back. We've been using this red. Make it a nice dark purple. Okay. Come up over here, just more in here. So my energy is in the sky is coming down. Now this is not watercolor paper I'm painting. It is a mixed media paper. And as you can see, the way the pigments are just balling up on the surface of the paper. It would be nice to have 100% cotton blanks, but those are a little bit more expensive. Well, actually, I don't even think my art supply store carries 100% cotton card blanks. I don't think it does. So this has got a lot more purple. We're just going to leave it that way so it's kind of more dark, just like that. We'll come back and we'll lighten it up. Your name is pronounced Heaney. Heaney. Okay, Heaney, welcome. Welcome. Someday, I got to free up some money in my budget, and then you have to go to school tomorrow. Oh, well, you got some school left. Well, at least you're yeah. I don't have school anymore. I'm too old for school. Well, I'm not too old for school. I just not doing that. I'm going to come in here and start adding this in so it's got some water. I may put some shore in. I'm not positive. The water line is up here, coming up there. Maybe like that. It's got some waves. All right. Maybe we'll put some shore in. I think I might do that. What do you think? Does it needs a little sand, or so you're looking at it from a beach? Kind of like that. Come up over here. We got some other colors. I'm just going to lay those right in here. It's turned into more of a gray tone. And we'll just put that in here. It's got all kinds of different colors in there. Just painting loose. loosey-goosey. And we just, you love beach? Yeah, I'm going to put in just a little bit of beach. I think I'll start to do that now. I am going to make the beach, going to use this burnt umber. And we're going to start, I want to add some light to it. So I'll put some of this yellow ochre to it. All right, let's see how that looks. I'm going to add that in like that. So it's got some different effects going on. A little bit of beach. I like that. It's kind of impressionistic. We're just going to be really loose with the paint. We're not doing realism. We're just, this is watercolor. Got a little bit in there. A little more like that. Okay. Now, I am located, Heaney, I am located in Oregon. I'm on the west coast of the United States. Kind of California. California takes up this much here. If you go from, this is Mexico, this is Canada. California takes up this much. Oregon takes up this much, and Washington takes up that much. And so I am like right here. And that's right where Oregon is on the map. And at the 45th parallel, so I'm halfway in between the equator and the North Pole. That's what I am. Halfway in between. Okay, let's go in and do some more water. Yeah. So you're on the east coast of the... So who was from the Czech Republic? I thought you were from the Czech Republic. Well, that was someone else. Okay. Robolox girl. School tomorrow. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep, that's where I'm at. I'm on Oregon. My people have been in Oregon beginning in the 1880s. 1870s, 1880s is when they people, they started coming. The first batches of them came out on the Oregon Trail from Ohio, and then the rest of them, then another batch came from Sweden over to New York, and then they went clear across the nation and settled in Astoria area, Seaside, Astoria, and Portland, and they worked in logging camps. And so that was some of my family came in the 1880s. The original batch came in the 1620s. 1620s is when, oh, not me, you're the school kid. Okay. So the school kid was one who's going to school, not you. Okay. All right. We are going to add a little bit more light into this. We'll come in with this kind of a yellow. And just layer it in on top. But yeah. And so my folks, my ancestors who came on the Oregon Trail came on the southern route, and they came on a covered wagon. And the southern route was taking a... You know, I did not watch 1883 or 1923. I didn't have cable. I have some limited cable access, and I just didn't want to pay for those things. Stayed in Florence, Oregon. Yeah, a couple of years since I last been to Florence, but I live near the coast. I live roughly 20 miles from the coast. Uh, from about, but you don't really need to know that. But it's not the exact location. I'm not giving exact locations of where I live, or but I do live. I live in rural Oregon in on the coast. Pretty much, just really a, s- a short a short skip and a jump away from the ocean. Yeah, they are Paramount. I just like I said, I just didn't want to pay for it, and I pay for Amazon Prime, and there's the cable bill, and the cable, the internet, and the phone. It all comes in on the same line, and since I do running this YouTube show, I spend a lot of time. I don't really spend too much time watching TV, and then I take care of my mom. She's 85, and so it's those, and with her face blindness, a show like that is kind of hard for her to track. I'm gonna put a bunch of green in here. Anyways, that doesn't, that's maybe unnecessary information. A little green. Yeah, I like the green in there. So I'm at 17 minutes in. Yeah. Hmm. Part of my fabric. Yeah, well, I live really, really, really near, uh, you know, 10.
Set my alarm when you get done. Time.
It'll be, I don't know. I'll set it for like 7.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. Um, where was I? Anyway, there was a West Coast Trail of Tears, and my residence is very, very near that. The location of where 23 West Coast tribes were force marched. And, anyways, let's see if we can make a different kind of a color here that's not quite so green. Yeah, thank you. I'm just trying something, really fast. Just kind of, I can't really sell these cards for very much, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on them. But I want them to be, nice, really nice. But I've been getting a lot of practice on the show. And so this is, I on this channel I do a variety show, and I do have another channel too that I'm building, where my other channel is just a straight divination channel, and I'm not I don't have enough subs yet to live stream, but I'm kind of getting there. So anyways, we are coming in. Let's take that color over here, this color that we made here, and we're gonna add, we're gonna brown it up a little bit, and we're gonna add just a tad bit of this red. I like this red. So it's gonna make it kind of like some purpley, make it some gray tones in there. We'll put a little bit more of this in here, and kind of purple it up, and so we have some different kind of the sky color sort of reflected in it. And anyways. But I kind of like think of these as like container ships. But this one here, I got Maria, welcome. I got this whim that, well, maybe this is like an old steamer because it's got these two big smokestacks. Maybe it needs a third smokestack, and so we'll work on those details last. And yeah, so we'll come in here, add in some more of this color, and then on the 21st, I'm gonna have a paint off with an artist from the East Coast someplace. And so that's also like he know I he I doing live stream paintings for myself and having various like interviews of folks, and then just put some of this green right on here because it was like the water kind of, it'll just dry on there. Like that. I think that's good like that. It's kind of like waves are just rolling up. I want to see if I can blue this thing out a bit. Maybe take some of this Prussian blue and see what happens. We'll put it in here, add it in there. We can actually take if I take some of this Chinese white and put it in there, I can get it to make it a little bit more pastel-y, less bright. And so there we go. We'll put that in here. I like it how it's not going to dry this way, unfortunately, but oh, I am working on cards. I'm doing cards. That's what I'm doing, Maria, is I'm doing cards. These are blank greeting cards, and they are part of my, I'm going to put them over there to get this ocean to look a little bit more. There we go. All right. I'm not sure I like that one very well. I think I'm going to leave this one like this. And we're going to go in and I think I'm going to change mediums at this point in time. Let's try out that. And we're going to change mediums. Let's go into acrylics now. And I need a different brush. So my black has been thinned out. I have a lot of black. I did not buy any black and fluid or acrylics. So we're going to use some fluid or acrylics in here to finish up or do some detail work. It's dry enough that I think we can do that, but I need the right brush. So like a little liner brush like this to do fine details. And we are going to come up and I'm going to make the smokestacks just kind of black. Did I forget to clean this brush the last time I used it? It certainly looks that way. Okay, I don't like those lines on there. It probably should be white, but you know what? In imagination land, you can make things whatever color you want them to be. So I'm going to just do this. I probably should just go do more. Eventually, I'm just going to do 999 is an angel number. So if you look at in a biblical sense, now it doesn't list it in there, but it would be in a biblical sense, 999 stands for perfection. So that'd be like the perfected spirit, the perfected spirit. If you were to look at the book of Revelations from a purely spiritual journey viewpoint, 666 is the number for the human ego and the human at the very base level, where, and then 999 is that 6 turned upside down, and so it's a God number. And so in numerology, 999, if it's an angel number, but if you're just looking at 9 as in numerology, it is your task has been completed, and your next number to do the next task starts at 1. And as an angel number, 999 is, yeah, so 888 is like the step before 999. It can mean things like, it's like it has let me see, I'll just look it up for you. I don't necessarily have these things memorized, but I do have a book handy. It should be right here. Maybe. Anyways, I see 888 as like this is a really highly it's a God number as well, but it's like it's more like a manifestation number, like your intentions are coming true, or it's that the angels are encouraging you. It's sort of, whether it's like, okay, are you going to win the lottery? Well, probably not. I mean, you might win the lottery. You might win a free ticket, but are you going to win the big jackpot? Well, I don't know. I don't know that you can make those kinds of predictions to that kind of a level. You if you don't play the lottery, you're never going to win. But anyways, half good, half bad. Yeah. yeah. I think that's probably what it does mean. I'd have to find my book, and I think I have my numerology book someplace else. I thought it was right here. I usually keep that stuff just handy. Yeah. I got too much stuff. Oh, there it is. It was right there. So we'll just take a look. And this is only one, mind you, it's only one person's viewpoint. And everybody else has all these different viewpoints. And so let's go 666. This repeating number sequence may be indicating that you have taken on too much responsibility and your selflessness is no longer serving you. So maybe you're becoming more selfish. It may also be a signal that you are impeding someone else's growth by not letting them take responsibility for themselves. So everyone has a different interpretation by what these numbers mean. And then let's go over to 777. It says the angels are asking you to trust them on your journey to enlightenment. And so they also want you to take some time for yourself to reflect, spend more time in prayer and contemplation, and reflect in the privacy of your own home. And so 888 signals that you are about to enter a period of prosperity, and your angels are asking you to open yourself up to their blessings. So prosperity, it does not mean actual monetary prosperity. It could mean like, you don't want to store treasures up in heaven, so you're looking. No, you're not treasure. You can't store treasures in heaven, so it might be more like spiritual prosperity. I don't know. It really all just depends. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, exactly where you are in your life, yeah. And so 999, if there are things in your life that no longer serve you or your spiritual alignment, this number signals it's time to let them go. This number could also serve as an encourage you to persist if you feel yourself becoming less enthusiastic about a project that you've been working on. Let's take a look at number 69. Now, this is not exactly what these things mean, but it's close. So 6 and a 9 together is you will be a confidant and encourage healthy boundaries. That might be what it means in like relationships. Yeah, studying Course in Miracles. Yeah, I read the book, but I couldn't make it through the whole all those lessons in it. But I've read the book several times, and I starting like in the 80s when I was like a teenager. Is when I first came across that Course of Miracles. I think it was like 88 or 89. Maybe it was like more like 80. I do remember because I had just graduated from high school, and then someone was telling me about the Course of Miracles, and I found a copy of it down at the coast in one of those, because in the beach, because there's always like those kind of new agey stores in the coastal towns. But for the life of me, there are no stores. There's like I think one store at the state capitol that where you can buy a tarot deck. Um, I've actually never been in a store that you even could buy a tarot deck. I'm gonna put this over here, and so it's an angel number, but 999 is an angel number that I've actually never seen before, except like maybe on video game scores and stuff like that. You started in 1983, February of 83. Yeah, since then, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Maybe I get another color in here for this boat. I'm gonna go to my fluid acrylics. I better not let this stuff dry up. And what color should we look at here? I got some colors here. I do not have any black in it. I don't think we want any fluorescent yellow or fluorescent pink. I'm going to drop all the fluorescent colors out of this recipe. I do have that burnt umber in there, and I got blue. So we're going to be dealing out of, I think I'll take the red here and make use some red. Yeah, well, so I have another channel where I'm doing card readings. I last video I dropped, I was using this tarot deck. This is a tarot deck that was created by a magician, and it can work. It does. It's actually pretty accurate. The last question I read. I mean, I found the question on Reddit, but then I read myself because it was so true to me. The question being, why do I feel so stupid all the time? And I definitely, when I was younger, I felt stupid all the time. I still feel stupid. So I was reading this deck, and it was pretty accurate to why I feel stupid, and which is because I'm anxious, I have anxiety, I overthink things, and then I'm spinning things around in my head, and then and so forth. And it can give you a really accurate reading, but It's all right. I need to let things dry here a little bit. And I'm only in 35 minutes. And so then what one of the things that there is no manual with this deck. So when you pull a card, it's whatever your guess is what it means. And so if you want to go for like comedy, you can do comedy with this. And I often do when I read this tarot deck. That's what I'm going for, is comedy. And and that's and so I apply my sense of humor when I read this tarot deck, and I like it. So let's say one of the uses for this tarot deck is that, let's say you have a party at your house. Maybe most of the people you invited didn't know you read tarot. Most of the people, maybe their family, and they don't know you read tarot, and you really don't want them to know that you read tarot. But then one person does know that you read tarot, and they said, "Oh, could you read my fortune?" Blah blah blah, and then you're really feeling like, well, this is your party. You're entertaining all these guests. You do not feel like reading anybody's fortune, reading their tarot cards, and so you pull that deck out, and then, okay, yeah, I'll read it, and you pull that out, and and then then you proceed to give them a jokey comedic reading. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's what you do with that deck. And so if you have your family over and people know you because they only know you from church, they know you from because maybe they know you there and they don't approve of tarot, so you just pull that thing out. And and then yeah, I'll give all you guys, and the fact is, if you want, you can play along too, and you can play along with it, and that's how you can use that deck. And then if you just don't want to, because like I got lots of people in my life, I don't want to tell them I read tarot. My neighbors, I mean, I live in a I gosh, I told one of my neighbors that I believed in reincarnation. I didn't necessarily want to talk to me anymore. You know, um, they know me from church. They know me from Catholic church. They know me from Lutheran church because I am now living in the area that I grew up in, and and so people know me from from the past. They know me from where I used to be, and so yeah, that's so I tend to not tell people things, or not in my area. Now there are some people that know, and the people that do know in this area, they don't really care, and they're cool with it. And so I'm gonna make this boat red, and maybe we'll paint a color. I got some orange on there. I think I might actually make it end up. No, I don't know. I think it's just gonna big reddish color boat coming on the surface there. But that's how that is. And so my other YouTube channel that I just started on my last birthday in March is called Tools of Fortune, and I'm like 6 or 7 subs away from being able to live stream on this mobile device, because I'm doing my entire show Heaney on a on an Android phone, because that's where things are at. I'm as a caregiver for my mother. I'm not taking a salary, and I haven't had an income in 2 years. So no, actually 3 years, 3 years, and so doing the necessary equipment in order to do this show on a desktop computer requires a few steps that are completely out of my budget, if that makes any sense. Yeah, exactly. That's right. I don't tell people anything, really. Not, I do, that's what I like about the tarot community online. My sister knows I read. My aunt knows I read. Actually, it was my aunt, who was my dad's sister, encouraged me because when 2.5 years ago, when my mother was in intensive care with COVID, and I had COVID for the first time, and I was talking to my aunt, and then she told me that her grandmother read tarot. I think she may have read. She read tea leaves. She read tea leaves, and I think I have a memory, and I'm not sure if it's a false memory or if it's if like a phantom memory, but of being at my grandmother's house at and Seaside, Oregon, and and trying to play. Yeah, I can, Maria, and I have the phone number to do that. I just like, I just am assuming that, and I need to call that number, and I haven't yet, and I'm sure that program is going to get canceled, when the big beautiful bill gets passed, and but I this is not this show is not about, not I don't do politics here, but that's policy, and I don't know, I'm not talking about that. So we're not talking about that. But nevertheless, I have a memory, and I think that I was trying to play solitaire, being like 7, 8, 9 years old, with a Tarot de Marseille, and I think that was my great grandmother's tarot deck. And she came. She lived to be 90. She died in 1980, and she came to America from Sweden to get a divorce. She was in an arranged marriage, and they had like I think she had 6 children, something like that. I'm going to add a secondary color on top of this. Yeah, yeah, and so, anyways, not having money, and my phone. I got to replace my phone because I am really hard on. I'm gonna probably finish these I'm getting close to an hour. I don't want to be on past an hour tonight, and I think I want to go add some orangey colors to the boats, maybe. Yeah. So it's got some bright colors in here. And it turns out that I'm using a Motorola stylus. It was brand new it was brand new. I got it brand new in March of 2 years ago. So that was March of 23. And so it turns out now, if you use your phone to produce a YouTube show doing heavy streaming, that you you can't get much more than 2 years of life out of that device before it wears out. So that's that's something to know. So if you start producing your show on a phone, you may not. Whereas, like, if you're just using Android phone for regular use, you might get, like the full 2 years of use, or 3 or 4 years of use out of your device. But if you're using it to live stream and to do multiple hours of live streaming a week, and because sometimes I think last summer I was doing like 15 to 20 hours of live streaming a week last summer. Especially after I had that one viral video. Yeah, yeah. You wish you was smarter back then. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. This is big old orange boat. Anyways, put a little orangey in here. Shows up really bright. Turns out, yeah. So that's something to keep in mind if you are going to do a show that. Okay, you can call me Bill, and my other channel is Tools of Fortune. It's actually linked to this page on the channel page, and actually I think I have a link to it right on in the channel header page where it has like my links and everything. In the about section, I believe I have my other channel linked to this. And like I said, I'm trying to get that 50 subs mark so I can start live streaming on that channel too. And I'm going to finish this up off camera, or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night when I get done with my writers group. I'm going to finish these two cards up, and I have some other ones that I'm working on too that I haven't quite finished. So these are some other cards that I'm working on, and these are distinctly tarot cards. They are. This here is the Tower card. It's not quite done, and instead of a lightning bolt, there's a UFO in the clouds, and it's picking up cows. And then this is my version of a moon card. So I have some. I need to finish those. I have some other projects. I'm taking the dog to the vet tomorrow. So like here is one of my my tarot art cards. This is actually just this is watercolor and fluid or acrylics, just like I'm doing here. That's this one here. This here is this is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, and maybe it's in a cave and it's a different perspective. I'm going to turn this camera off here just a minute. And of course you can see what this is. This here, High Priestess. This is my moon energy card. And this is another version of your Three of Swords. And I think this is all the tarot ones I have that I've done so far. My tarot. I have some other ones in other places, but I keep them up here. And so when I do my other tarot videos, I will sometimes put those in the background so that you can see them in the background. And that's what they're there for. They're for my other channel, to just add to the ambiance. I know a lot of people, when they do their tarot channels, they do have the camera facing their face, and I probably will do that. But I'm kind of an old man, and so I don't know how that goes. Anyways, nevertheless, this is all I'm going to do for tonight. I wanted to know that you matter. All of you guys matter. And this is it for today. So the Fool Joker card and the regular deck, yeah, that's probably one of the projects I'm going to do on Tools of Fortune, is go through a regular playing card deck, and I haven't decided. I think I'm going to mark it up like it was minor arcanas. Look, I bought it at Bimart for $3. And the bridge size. This is my favorite size of cards. I have I have a lot of tarot decks. I'm not buying any more tarot decks, but this is one of the one. I'm gonna do. I don't know when I'm gonna do this project, but I'm gonna do it sometime. So I'll mark up the cards. I have mark up the cards, and I will probably go with tarot meanings on them. And so, for instance, what you can do when you're reading playing cards as tarot cards, you're adding up the numbers. So, and to get the majors, so let's say you draw a 5 and a 3 and a king or something like that. And so that 5 and a 3, 5 plus 3 together is 8. And so you might think about the energy of whatever it is. And it might think, oh, well, maybe that's 8, the 8th card. And the 8th card is strength. Unless, of course, it's strength. But if you are choosing the Tarot de Marseille, that was you. So if you are choosing the Marseille Tarot, which I think is probably might be the better choice, rather than the Rider-Waite, to go with the Marseille Tarot method when you are thinking of playing cards. And I'm thinking that, because I'm thinking that is, I think that's the method that you might be. It really doesn't matter, because there's the playing card method. The playing card, there is cartomancy on the playing cards, that they have meanings, and some people will assign values to the Rider-Waite, or they'll assign values. I think you can assign values to the Tarot de Marseille, and I'm kind of really thinking that that's probably the route I will go. Is so you're looking at having a like this is just a major arcana oracle. I got this from Tarot Ass Backwards. Got me this for my birthday. And oh yeah, that's right. I have that Marseille tarot deck, and I did a flip through on this a couple weeks ago on Tools of Fortune. And this is a keyword. Actually, it's not necessarily a keyword. It's a meanings on the card it's a Witchy Cauldron. And this is really nice. It's a nice tarot deck. And so it's not necessarily keywords, because it has complete sentences. So if you look at that, and then, so in that's right. In the Tarot de Marseille, the Justice card and the Strength card are switched. They're switched around. So Strength is 12 and Justice is 8. And so that's just you just have a strategy, something that you can do. And so yeah. And then so the exercise will be just to go through and mark up the cards with some kind of, I think, a Sharpie. That's probably the right device. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. And then it's up to your next step is to memorize it. But then not everybody is a memorizer like that. Not everybody's good at memorizing stuff. And I was better younger, maybe, sort of, yes, no, maybe. And most of the decks that I read for tarot, with the exception of that joke tarot deck, are all keyword decks, because that's my I do, of course, I have some really fancy ones. More Intuitive Me sent me this for the Tarot of the Abyss for my birthday. I think it was on sale for like $12. That was in March. It's probably with the tariffs, it's $20 now. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Remember, you guys matter, and thank you very much for your support. And I will be back on, I'm sure, Thursday night to finish these, and then on Friday I have Truth Wave on at 4 in the afternoon, 4 Pacific and 6 Central Time, and we'll be doing an interview there. Saturday, I have my volunteer job on Saturday the 14th. I probably will, when I get done, I'll probably do, like, if it's nice out and warm, I'll probably maybe turn the camera on outdoors and just talk about nothing for like until dark or something like that, from like 9 till like 9:30 or 9:40 or whatever, whenever dark is. And maybe the cows will be around, and so we can look at the cows again. Then on Sunday afternoon, I have Alexis Milner on, I think at 1:30 my time. And we're going to be talking about, in my after church chat show hour, and we'll be talking about, I think, like caregiving and stuff like that. So it's just, yeah. So I'm starting to put together questions that I want to ask him, because I actually find it, pretty amazing that he's like doing 2 streams a day. I mean, that's like, I couldn't do 2 streams a day. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. And thank you very much for your support. And I will see you all the next time. Bye-bye.